Hello and welcome to Sean White's Solar and Energy Storage Podcast. Today we have a repeat guest. His name is Aaron Nichols. And what happened is Aaron was on the podcast not too long ago. And I was listening to the podcast like I always do to double check it. And I was like, man, that was such a fun podcast. I just want to talk to him again because I need more fun in my life. And so do you. So listen to this podcast for more fun in your life. And Aaron Nichols is also the host of This Week in Solar podcast. So what's happening again, Aaron?
Hey, not much. It's good to be back. Like I said, I couldn't believe that you added a laugh track to our podcast. Was that the first time you did that?
No. Like, I'm trying to remember like how long it's been, but you're the first one that's ever mentioned it. Like, nobody's ever mentioned it, but it's kind of recent. And maybe they added it a couple of extra times in ours. Like some of the podcasts are just like one, ha ha ha. and so I was just like thinking like, oh, let's try this out and see what happens. And so they, it's sort of like when the people watch the sitcoms or something like that and they put in some canned laughter. I thought that would just be kind of fun. Why not?
It was a cool feeling. I mean, I dreamed of being on sitcoms as a child. So, it's kind of that.
Yeah, like you dreamed of being on sitcoms with Jennifer Aniston? Is that what it was?
I liked How I Met Your Mother. That was my show. Friends was a little before my time.
Yeah. So anyways, just like trying to mess around, try to have fun. And that's one of the things that I like to do in this industry too, is just to like make boring stuff fun, like doing all this teaching and stuff. It's like, are people better off being serious and learning about something and just be like, this is this, and and it's just like the p-in junction or all that kind of stuff, or like making some stupid joke about the p-in junction. I don't even know what it is. I don't have a whole big long list of p-in junction jokes, or at least ones that I could say on the podcast because I'd probably get canceled. But yeah, just like to make it fun. That's kind of my style, is to take boring stuff and make it fun. And then If you take boring stuff and make it fun, then people will remember it better. Their brain will be more receptive. So instead of being all burned out, they'll have more blood flow against those neurons and it'll take in all that kind of stuff. They'll remember it longer. And then if they remember all this stuff better, they prevent fires, they put in more solar, and they save the planet. So that's all. It's like,
and for anyone who's listening, who's in a position of power, what Sean is talking about is not graphs. You don't need more graphs. Graphs are a bad way of conveying information. Making things fun does work to make people remember things. The graph parts of our brains are full. Don't need more graphs.
You know what? I think we need a graph that shows like how graphs are bad.
I've been really railing against graphs lately. I think graphs and acronyms, I'm over them. I think we should outlaw both.
Yeah, I think acronyms get kind of crazy. Like that's another thing I do a lot of on the podcast is go like, what does that mean? Like sometimes people, they're the only one that knows what their acronym means, I think,
As you should. But I think that to bring it back to what you were saying about making it fun, I think one of the things that we don't do a great job at, and I have a couple of theories, but I don't think we do a good job at asking ourselves the question, why should anyone care about the stuff that we do? And then answering that in an engaging way.
Yeah. So remind me why graphs are bad. Like what's the main reason why graphs suck?
I mean, I'm being a little too harsh on graphs because graphs are obviously very useful for certain applications. But I got a little fed up with them in the lead up to the One Big Beautiful Bill because I just kept seeing them everywhere. And it was the way that people chose to tell stories online. So there's a lot of social science that suggests that human beings remember stories, not facts. And graphs are very fact-based. And if you show a graph without anchoring it in context and without anchoring it in an emotional story, the human mind forgets it almost immediately.
Okay, so we'll have a graph, and on one axis, we'll have like how many graphs somebody sees. And then the other axis will have like how much they forget. And then everybody will forget that graph. And then that'll be like, see, I told you.
My brother has a good joke he likes to tell where he has just like a classic XY axis with a line going up at a 45-degree angle. And he says like, now if the Y axis is time and the X axis is success, you're going to want to make sure you stay on a steady upward trend.
Yep, that's good. That's important. Yeah.
Solid advice, right?
Yeah. So how's your podcast going?
It's going really well. We just past 450 subscribers on Substack. So every time I send it out via email, it goes to 450 people, which, it's small, but it's getting momentum. It's the snowball rolling down the hill.
And so Substack, you don't usually hear people Substacking their podcast. So like, what's Substack all about? Like, I think a lot of people don't know what Substack is.
Yeah, I absolutely love Substack. I was very early to the Substack party personally 5 years ago because I wrote on Medium and I hosted my personal email list there, which I still write content under, just occasionally publishing blog posts under the name The Modern Mythmaker. But Substack is amazing for ease of use and also for distributing a lot of content in a lot of places at one time. So when we host the podcast on Substack, but what I do every week is I write up a news roundup, and then I film myself saying it for Solar News, and then I upload that video into Substack. And when I hit publish on that video, it's published automatically for audio to Spotify and Apple Podcasts, and the video is published automatically to YouTube. And so it's just a lot of heavy lifting in one simple thing. But Substack also has discoverability. Like, it's its own social media, and there's a lot of highbrow sort of people that hang out there, and it's very good for writing. The whole thing is centered around writing and helping writers make a living from writing. So it's a fantastic platform.
Okay, cool. Yeah, we use something called Podbean, and I don't know why we use it. It was just like when I first decided to do a podcast, I told the people working for me, like, what do we do? And they figured it out, and we put it there, and then it sticks it on Apple and Spotify and all that kind of stuff. I think we do YouTube on our own, though. So Should we switch? Should we go to Substack?
I don't know. I'm sure, because I've never looked into anything else. But I know that it's working. And the thing that I love about it is that email is built in. So anything I send goes to the 450 email subscribers. So there's like a nice content feedback loop there.
Awesome. This podcast is brought to you by Sunlight. Sunlight makes you shine. Were you around when they had the Colbert report? It was like before.
I had that book, I Am America and So Can You, if you remember that.
Okay, yeah. I saw him in the studio audience. And I was wearing a Solyndra shirt.
Oh, wow.
And then like he was warming up on the crowd, and I asked him some question, and he's like, hey, what's that shirt you're wearing? I was like, Solyndra. It's the corporate second coming because of corporate personhood, and there will rise from the dead. And then he told his security guards to kick me out of there.
No way. Really?
Yeah.
You actually got...
No, he was just joking though, of course.
Was this before Solyndra exploded? I think
it was after it exploded, after that happened, but everybody still knew about it. Like now nobody really, like the general public doesn't know what the heck Solyndra is. But then, like whatever time that was, like, I don't know, 2012 or something like that. Everybody knew what Solyndra was because it was like top of the news and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, like what I kind of liked, I liked Colbert Report better than when he started doing like late night. And the reason is like he was a fake conservative comedian. So he like pretended like he was conservative, and then he kind of made fun of the conservative thing.
Yeah, it was amazing.
And so it was hilarious. I just thought it was like he was in character, the eagle and the American flag and all that kind of stuff. So
the genius of it, by the way, is that conservatives loved it.
Yeah. Because it's fun to laugh at yourself. They just
didn't realize it. Well, no, not even. Like, there's a lot of people didn't realize it was satire and just took the stuff he said at face value and just liked it that way. That was the reason it had such widespread appeal. Anyway.
Yeah. And it's like, I just think it was really fun. I think everybody liked it.
Yeah.
And so maybe he could go back to do that because, like, they keep shutting down all these late night shows and all that kind of stuff. But maybe what we should do is a podcast for like oil, like a fake oil podcast.
Oh, I love that idea.
and be like, it's like coming on and like, it's the new oil podcast. Yeah, get your oil. Everybody burn some gas. We need more sea level rising. Beachfront property up in the hills.
Yeah. Yeah, nice. You could be very clever about that. You could be like, are you tired that your almost beachfront property isn't beachfront property?
Yeah, we'll do like fake ads and stuff. In fact, you know what? I think I'm going to start doing fake ads on my podcast. I think that's a good one. I should do that one.
Yeah, sponsored by Big Oil. There's a podcast I listen to where this guy, it's just about terrible people throughout history. And this guy will do fake ads on there, and he often pretends that he's sponsored by Raytheon. And he's like, if you want to take out a bunker full of innocent citizens, Raytheon.
Yeah. Yeah. Have you ever heard of the Prairie Home Companion? It was an old NPR radio show.
No, I hadn't.
But they had fake ads too, like for rhubarb pie or, stuff like that. It was kind of funny.
Oh, nice. That's cute.
But yeah, I made a bunch of ads and we're going to put them on, like some of them were like, sponsored by Fresh Air, so.
Yeah, I think you're onto something with Big Oil. If you're like,
yeah, that would be hilarious.
Are you tired of paddling around a local pond and being able to just jump in the water? Big Oil. Are you sick of all of this wildlife? Big Oil.
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, and you know what would be kind of funny too, or ironic, is the oil people probably would like it because they think it's funny or something. And it would probably help change their consciousness a little bit because that's what jokes do. And, they realize how stupid something that they're doing is. But the people that would be upset are going to be like your super, super, easily offended people that are actually like far left because they can't take a joke or something.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is sad. But yeah, it's true. I mean, the only way people come to any sort of change is through emotion or jokes. Graphs are not what does it.
Yeah. And I have
this podcast is brought to you by Graphs. Do you have trouble sleeping at night? Well, pull out a textbook full of graphs.
Awesome. Okay, so the Big Oil podcast. I think we got to do something like that. That'll be a great idea. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, what do you think a good name for the show would be? Like Bubbling Crude, something like that? Oh yeah, maybe it could be like, you ever heard of the Beverly Hillbillies?
It's funny that you mentioned that. This is like, because I don't watch new shows. I know they're going to disappoint me. I only watch stuff that's been filtered through a long period of time. And the last show that I watched was the Beverly Hillbillies.
Really? Yeah. So
I got through the whole first season because it's on Amazon Prime.
Yeah, so for people that don't know, it's way older than me too. It's black and white. It's a TV show, and it's about like some hillbillies were out there shooting their guns, and oil came out of the ground. They got really rich, and they moved to Beverly Hills, and they called the swimming pool the cement pond, and it was just like pretty funny.
It's funny for like 10 episodes, and then it's exactly the same joke every episode.
Oh, I like the same
because they never learn. There's no character development, so it never progresses anywhere. But it was very nostalgic for me because I just watched it on TV land at my grandparents' house growing up, and so
yeah. So maybe that would be like a good theme song,
Yeah.
Like for the Big Oil podcast.
Yeah, I'll bet you copyright protection on the theme song for the Beverly Hillbillies has probably expired.
Oh yeah, and then violating copyright protection for the Beverly Hillbillies is a great way to get PR.
You're right. Yeah, because I mean, it's not like they have top lawyer talent representing the Beverly Hillbillies. Whoever comes after you is not going to be that good.
Yeah, Beverly Hillbilly attorneys are all dead. Yeah.
Yeah. You might get one annoyed letter, but you're not going to get sued like if you go after, I don't know, Stranger Things.
Yeah. We interrupt you for a very important announcement. Sean White's Solar and Energy Storage Podcast has been brought to you by Sean White's Solar and Energy Storage Podcast. That's right, Sean White is sponsoring his own podcast, and he wants to remind you to go check out some of his classes. You can go to SolarSEAN, that's Solar, SEAN.com, and then click on the links to check out his classes. You can check out his heat spring classes, and you can also hire him to teach classes for you, like at your company, something like that. Now back to the show. So this week in solar, maybe you could tell people like where to find you, or how to do that. Yeah.
I mean, we went over it, but Substack, which is amazing. You should be on Substack regardless of whether you follow This Week in Solar, because it's just such a refreshing social media.
Yeah, so tell everybody, tell more about Substack. Why do they call it Substack? I always thought it was for computer coders or something like that?
Yeah, Substack is for writers. It's designed with writers in mind. So there's a lot of journalists on there. But the idea is that you build an email list and you have a following and you have an inbuilt social media. And then you can charge people directly through the platform for subscriptions. And then Substack just takes 10% of your revenue. So the only way they make money is if you monetize your list.
Okay. Are you monetizing?
Not yet.
Okay.
I don't know what that'll look like.
Okay.
But yeah.
So you go to Substack and then you go This Week in Solar, just like Google it or something?
If you Google This Week in Solar, we're the top result for our own website, for Substack, and for YouTube.
Okay. Yeah. Well, at least from your computer. No. Yeah.
No, I promise you, because the YouTube channel we've set up is, we repurposed an old one that has a decent amount of subscribers. So
yeah. I remember you said
some
that.
SEO clout, which I'm grateful for.
Yeah. So tell me too about so we can find you over there at Substack, but what is repurposing a YouTube channel? So I know repurposing solar modules, like you take some solar modules from one place and somebody is going to get rid of them or replace them, and then you put them somewhere else. So you take a YouTube channel from one place and then you bring it over to This Week in Solar. That's repurposing?
So the owner of Exact Solar bought a YouTube channel from a local influencer who had a channel called New Jersey Renewable Energy. And the YouTube channel came in the acquisition of his website. And the owner of our company bought it as a lead channel because the guy was moving out and retiring. He was just an independent solar installer. Mm-hmm. But he had 28,000 YouTube subscribers. And the channel just sat there forever. I mean, we didn't do anything with it for 2 years. And then eventually we thought, well, we should do something with this. And so we decided to start putting videos there for This Week in Solar.
All right.
But I mean, it's tough, right? Because when you change over a YouTube channel, you're essentially starting over. You just have the subscriber count. But the algorithm knows it's a different person. The fan base knows it's a different person, especially if you rebrand the channel. Anyone who's subscribed to it now doesn't see it as the same thing.
Yeah. Do you see people when you first do that, do you get some people that are just unfollow or something like that? Probably not, because you're also doing renewable energy and the guy before you was.
Yeah. Yeah, but this is what I tell people so much. Is there's a lot of people who, they're scared to create online, and they're like, what? How am I going to deal with angry people? And I'm like, the hardest thing you're going to deal with is indifference. It's just no one caring forever. Way harder. And then eventually, when someone does get angry at you, you're like, oh my God, someone took the time to hate what I'm doing. Thank God.
That's how we got our president, right?
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah.
I was just thinking about that today, but that's how we lost the election. I mean, I say we, I'm not, whatever. But the progressive leaning people, there's this thing called the diploma divide, which I've recently become interested in because I'm interested in the way that we message as an industry. And people who consider themselves progressive or left-leaning have been trained through higher education or tend to have more advanced degrees. So have been trained through what you could call more education to arrive at conclusions through work. And so we like there to be graphs, and we like to try to convince ourselves we're thinking about things deeply. And we like to convince ourselves that we've arrived to our conclusions through evidence. But most of America is not like that. And when we talk about our president and why he won because he won the emotional battle. And he won because in a time when everybody's watching short form video, he's very quippy and clippable. And he's so good at just little memorable snapshots. Whereas Kamala Harris, for better or for worse, was not. And there's this idea within progressivism, within left-leaning circles, and within the clean energy industry that we need to take the high road and we need to be logical. And that's why we lose in the court of public opinion.
So instead of being logical and showing graphs, is it better to just show the middle finger? Have you ever seen a graph that is a middle finger? I saw one of those the other day. They were showing about some asset that went up and then went down. And it's
I love that idea. I think, it sounds to me like something that a very nerdy kid would create on a graphing calculator in high school.
Yeah. Have you ever done that? You seem like that kind of guy. Yeah.
I wasn't nerdy enough.
Yeah.
I wasn't into graphing calculators enough. But yeah, I think the ideal graph would probably be something like that. Something that people would remember.
Yeah.
It would actually stick in the mind.
Yeah. But even back to what I was saying too, is like, instead of like the Democrats showing all these graphs, what if they just say F you, or like stuck up the middle finger, which is kind of another thing too, is it kind of seems like Gavin Newsom is taking Trump's playbook.
Yeah. And it's working for him.
Yeah. He's not doing graphs. Yeah.
Yeah. Someone told me that, they knew that the election was lost when it was like, I can't even remember Kamala Harris's vice presidential candidate's name now. Walz.
Oh yeah, WALZ or something, Tim.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Someone told me that like when Kamala's camp was putting out the like Mrs. Walz's cinnamon roll recipe, he was like, we've lost. Like you can't fight crazy with wholesome. Crazy wins every time.
It kind of reminds me too, is like when like Hillary and Kamala, they kind of picked the same kind of guy for their vice president.
Yeah.
Like maybe it was like some strategic way of, a woman picking a dorky white guy or something. I don't know.
I would just assume they just want him to overshadow them. That would be my guess, is like they wanted it to be more about them and less about the vice presidential candidate. Like they didn't want a big domineering presence.
When I run, I'm going to ask you what to do. You seem like the kind of person that would know. Yeah. So any famous last words until the next time you're on the podcast? This Week in Solar guy, Aaron Nichols.
Facts are for the in-group. Stories are for the out-group. Facts are for people who already agree with you. Stories are for people that you want to convince.
And that's a fact. All right.
There we go. We did it again.
We did it again. Ow! Thanks for listening to Sean White's Solar and Energy Storage Podcast with Aaron Nichols of This Week in Solar. Check him out on Substack. Check me out, SolarSEAN, that's SolarSEAN.com. Get yourself educated. Get some NABCEP certifications and make 1 billion times more. I got a graph on that. Check it out. Woo!